Welcome to this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. This is my weekly video where I take a look at the top 3 comics I am looking forward to reading on New Comic Book Day. And New Comic Book Day this week is February 7th, 2024. First month of the year flew by for me. Hopefully there's some comics on your list this week that you're looking forward to, but let's take a look at what my top 3 is for this week. First off, at number 3, we've got Thundercats, issue number 1. This is a total nostalgia pick. The comic book industry has decided to target me and probably a bunch of other people with some amazingly fun, creative comics over the last few months, year, whether it's Transformers, G.I. Joe, Darkwing Duck, some of the Disney villains over at Dynamite. There have been a bunch of comics that have dealt with digging right at the heart of nostalgia, and this is a nostalgia pick, but I have to say that if you are a fan of Dynamite comics in general, you know that they have a plethora of covers for every issue that comes out. This Thundercats issue number 1 is no different. There are, I don't know, at least 15, probably more covers. I actually decided to go all in, and I saw that there was an exclusive Gabriel Delato Thundercats 1 cover, so I ordered that already, pre-ordered it, and hopefully I'll snag another regular cover from my LCS this week on New Comic Book Day. We'll see how good the story pans out, but I am looking forward to reminiscing about my childhood and watching Thundercats cartoons. At number 2 this week, I'm going with You and I, issue number 1 from AWA Comics. This is part of that Resistance universe that has been built over at AWA. If you're not familiar with that, the real quick synopsis is planet Earth is hit with a virus. I think they eventually determine it's extraterrestrial. They don't know what happened, but millions of people are dying across the planet, and then one day it's like someone flips a switch and it stops, and the virus stops attacking people, and all of a sudden millions of people, I think, start to figure out that they have superpowers. And there's some interesting stories if you haven't read some of those that have come from that Resistance universe, but this is another tie-in into that storyline, that overall plot that they have going at AWA, and I just really like AWA as a publisher in general, but also on this we've got J. Michael Straczynski writing, who I really have liked some of the other stuff he's come out with, especially lately. The Madness was the series he just finished up at AWA, so looking forward to reading this one and seeing how it fits with that bigger story over at AWA. And at number 1 this week, I am going to put Wolverine Madripoor Nights, issue number 1, as my number 1 comic. I obviously haven't gotten to read the series yet because this is issue number 1, and actually every single one of my my top 3 comics this week were all number 1s. So it's hard for me to recommend them yet, but they are what I'm looking forward to, and this is something that I'm really looking forward to because Chris Claremont has returned to write about Madripoor with Wolverine, throwing in Captain America, Black Widow. It seems like it will be a good read. It's a 5-issue miniseries. If you don't know who Chris Claremont is, then you've probably not been reading comic books for a long time, but his claim to fame was giving us some of the best X-Men stories ever. And if you are a fan of the Marvel Universe, I think that this would be something you'd be interested in, because it's not just X-Men. You also have Black Widow and Captain America being thrown in the mix. It's a cool crossover. It's set in Madripoor. I have a feeling that there's something going on at Disney I've seen that has to do with Madripoor. Maybe it was the new Deadpool movie, or maybe they were talking about a mini-series or something there. So it could end up being something that, you know, helps you learn about that setting. Overall, I'm looking forward to it, and it's my #1 comic this week. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. You can always find every comic I am picking up at my LCS this Wednesday in the description of the video below. Feel free to drop any comments about anything that you're looking forward to, and remember to read them, bag them, and board them. We'll see you next time.